Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alan.
Ixnay that.
You got rid of it.
Oh, I love the crochet flag.
You did not. You're so full.
I love the crochet flag.
Just say liar, liar, pants on fire.
Right.
I was when he
There.
showed me that, I was like, "Are we about crocheted flags? Is that what we're
Can you
about?"
turn your volume down, Wendy?
Somebody's
sorry.
volume's on.
Yeah, that's me.
That's good. That's because she was showing us that. What
Yeah, the goat. Taylor Swift and the goat.
Right.
is hilarious.
What's happening, everybody?
Well, hi, everybody.
Happy Hump Day,
Happy hump day. yes.
January 18th. God, it's flying by.
Flying by.
Tell me about it.
Jesus, I should get on Rumble, huh?
You were supposed to be. You told me not to.
I know
be.
I'm getting on
Oh
Rumble.
yeah, you were supposed to be. That was your thing. You were in charge of that.
I told you I was
said.
going to be on Rumble, and you said no.
I got it. I'm on.
I'm on. There. Now we got two people on.
Oh, you're on Rumble too?
Yes.
Good job. I'll handle
So-
down YouTube
Cool. All right.
until I get kicked off of it.
Oh,
you
we
know.
have 4 people actually on. Though.
Nice.
on
Sweet.
YouTube. Well, 2 of them are
On
you
Rumble.
two.
Yeah, well, we
Rumble.
know that.
So there's 2 other people.
There's 2
Right.
other people.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, yeah. Heavy Metal's on. So Arthur's on. Andrea's on. Kathleen's on. Dan's on. Sorry, Kathy. Lindsay's on. I'm on. No, she gives me such crap about that.
She's terrible about it.
She was giving me the stink eye. I could feel it all the way over here.
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah.
not very far. She could be here in a minute too.
Yeah.
So as you can tell, we are short, Will and Erica tonight. They're under the weather.
They're sick.
Well, for a speedy recovery for you
And
guys.
the
That
baby's
sucks.
sick.
Yeah, that does suck.
Poor baby.
Everyone's sick.
The poor
Every-
baby's
seriously,
been thrown
everybody's
up. I'm
getting
like,
sick.
oh no.
I mean, look at China. They've got, what,
China.
900 million people with COVID right now. And it,
China.
yeah,
900 million people?
something like that.
Something.
Wow.
Some
they'll-
crazy
They'll
amount,
wean it down. It'll be fine.
which
Yeah,
I don't
just-
understand. They're so strict on their lockdowns that
But see, they let up on
So-
some of the lockdowns because of the protesting. So now they're
Now they all
literally-
got the Rona.
Now it's literally see, we told you so.
Yeah.
Well,
Go back
see-
to your house.
see, and I think that those numbers are inflated, but that's just my
You
I'm
think
sure
so?
they are.
So how do we say this? Because we don't
They all
want to
got
get
the
banned.
flu because we
So-
didn't get the flu last year. So we knew that this was going to be a hard year because we all stayed masked up and scared and terrified at home.
So did you hear
No.
earlier this week that some how do we put this without getting kicked off? That some
That a human?
outlets are
Oh, okay.
are actually admitting that some certain
Well,
numbers
we did read about
Yeah.
that.
might have been inflated.
yeah.
Mm.
And I did read
Yeah.
about the CDC put something out. I haven't found it yet, though. About what was
Choose
it?
your
you were
words
telling me?
carefully.
Really?
Where's
Wait,
the,
how do I
where's
say
Will
it
with the
without getting us
cricket,
kicked off?
We're not implying anything. I'm just saying that I have to find it.
It's on the CDC website. It's right on the CDC website.
I know, I have to find it and then
it's-
show
it's
it so
that
Shocking.
we don't
It's
get-
shocking.
I found it today
Did you?
Yeah.
Then we'll have to talk about it next week.
because I was searching for material for our
Other show.
exclusive show that's coming up.
Well, we can put
we
it
have
on
an
there and then
exclusive
YouTube
show?
can't
We
kick
do.
us off.
Oh.
Not to be named here, but we do.
Not
have an
to be named
exclusive
Oh,
here.
show.
okay.
We will have a Rumble show.
So we
happening
need
only on
a 2000 hertz tone to go off while we're on YouTube, but
Right.
we can play it on Rumble.
There you go. That'll be funny.
Right? Then we blocks out YouTube. That'd be funny.
That's hilarious.
I haven't decided yet though if we should do it as a pre-recorded show or a live show.
Well, when are you going to decide this?
When we figure out what we're doing.
Very soon,
Okay,
like
so
within the
you'll
next
let-
couple of days.
You'll let us know.
Yes,
Okay,
we'll let you know.
that would be helpful.
That
I-
would
Would it though?
probably be helpful.
Would it
When,
change
when
things?
are we doing the crossover episode?
Probably sometime in February.
Whenever we figure it out when we're going. We haven't talked with Andrew and Arthur on the
Probably
date yet.
probably the end of February
Okay.
because we have to be off our 30-day
Yeah.
dealio before
Okay,
we can go
yeah.
do it anyway. So
No, you don't.
Yes,
it just
you do.
means more from
We
from
can't
Mama
eat or
Cat
drink.
for me and Wendy.
I know,
No.
right?
you think we're gonna go there and not drink?
Yeah.
I know. Think I'm going to go there and not eat whatever she's making?
Not happening.
Yeah. I was going to say,
I
that's,
am-
that's a tough sell. I would
So,
have a tough sell.
You know,
on that.
and,
Right.
and I would encourage all that hears my voice. go and check out Heavy Metal Beer Club
Yes.
Yep.
and Mama
Great show.
Cat's Cooking.
Something like that.
Help me out, Andrea.
I always
I know
forget.
I've asked this before, but it's Mama Cat's.
Isn't Mama Cat's Eats or something like that?
Yeah.
Or-
Something
Mama
like
Cat's
that.
Eats. I think is it.
Sorry, Andrew. We got shitty memories.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's because I drink too much.
Rockin' Eats. We were close.
Rockin' Eats. Mama
that's-
Mama
Cat's
Cat's
Rockin'
Rockin'
Eats.
Eats. I
There
knew
you
it.
go.
Rockin'
I knew
Eats. I
Eats
know it
was in
didn't
there.
sound right. Yeah, Mama Cat's Rockin' Eats. So
So good.
both of them are
And
very
she's making her
entertaining.
new one, her new debut this week.
What's
It was
that?
like a turkey something or other.
Ooh,
Hmm.
sounds good.
So that
I couldn't
sounds
watch it because I knew I couldn't eat it. So what's the point in torturing myself?
And she said end of February sounds good. So,
Awesome.
Okay, perfect.
and that will be a recorded show. That won't be live.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll be
That's fine.
Lasagna, that's what it is.
What we'll probably do is
because Arthur's going to want to,
Well, there's like
Cut. cut some things out because we're going to probably get a little raucous.
probably because there's like 4 or 5 breweries we got to go hit out there too.
Right.
So it's got to be end of February.
So what we'll do is we'll probably do it on a Friday or Saturday, and then we'll play it Wednesday if I can get it edited in time,
Okay.
and we can just go on live with the show and
There you
chat.
go.
Okay.
So-
That'll work.
So we can do it that way.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I was checking out the what was the name of the little brewery place that was in Oro Valley, and I'm sitting there and I literally looked it up and I'm like, oh, we can make that's a perfect motorcycle trip to go down to.
Right there.
Yeah, yeah. It's a nice ride
So-
too over there.
So
Yeah,
we'll see
they
what
were
happens.
at I think 1912.
Yes, and
Recently?
Delback. And
Yes,
Delback.
yeah,
We've been to
1912.
1912.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, 1912 burger.
1912's one.
We're not on a special diet. We're doing what's called the Whole 30, and it's
To help with my inflammation.
kind of like a lifestyle change. You cut out pretty much everything but anything natural, and then you after
Add
30
something.
days you kind of reintroduce back into your diet things that you know how it affects you. So
Well, and you get to see how it affects you
right,
once you
'cause
have
if
it
it's
back in.
if it's causing inflammation and you bring it back in and your inflammation starts up again, you know that was the cause of it. So,
So you
So you
take it out of your
basically you
diet.
flush
yeah.
your body for 30
Yeah,
days.
so you take it out and then you add little stuff back in.
Wow.
So like if you like peanut butter, okay, you add peanut butter in. Well, if you start having lots of issues, then you take peanut butter back out.
Right.
Which makes sense. That's
Yeah.
what they do for babies when
Exactly.
they start.
It's the
inter-
same thing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I know this causes inflammation.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to tell you.
He's like, and well,
And I'll just live with it.
It's good. I've done it before and it works.
No comment over
So.
here.
All right, we got some memes of the week. We got actually quite a few tonight. So.
Because I was
you on a meme kick?
John was on a meme kick.
overzealous on the memes.
Well, not only that, I had to drag some of the ones because you sent me a second set last week that I didn't get a chance to
That you
put in.
didn't get to use.
So I had to
Oh
throw
my
some of
goodness.
those in there too. So
Wow,
we have a lot of
with
memes
the
to get to tonight.
memes.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I like that one, though. That's
Oh, that's bad. Cemetery Lane, dead end.
talk about irony, right?
That's funny.
Dad, what was it like growing up in the 80s? It was kind of like this. Hardee's. So that one needs to be cropped, but I see it's got Smurfs and it's got bikinis and it's got a mushroom cloud.
I was going to say, is that a nuclear explosion in the
All
back?
bad. None of that looks good.
Right? That's funny. Remember the Smurfs? I remember the Smurfs.
Yeah.
I love this one. No background checks for medieval artillery.
Oh, that's awesome. I like live bait in the window too.
Right.
That's new.
Well, it's funny. Back east, a lot of your gun shops do sell live bait because they do hunting. They
Well,
sell
because they're
hunting.
it's
usually
all-
right on the
all
way to the
encompassing.
river.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I'd like some worms and some knives. And
It must be the
It must be the
Oh, that is so
Aw,
cute.
Poor little fatty.
That is cute.
He's so cute.
I like that
He
one.
needs to go on the 30-day.
Right?
Mhm. Our dogs are not liking it. I'm just saying.
Notice
Yeah,
any
I
person
bet.
except players caught collecting golf balls on this course will be prosecuted and have their balls removed. Tell me that doesn't make you think.
That's pretty harsh.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's a harsh punishment. I don't always lie. Oh shit! There I go lying again.
Right?
I like that one.
That's
He's in
great.
trouble.
This is great. Lindsay sent me this one.
This is
one's freaking
hilarious.
Oh, I said it to you also.
Oh,
I
did you
read
send
that
me
eggs
that?
Yes.
are overly expensive because the bird flu is killing a ton of chickens. There's an obvious solution to this. Their
That
little
is
beak
funny.
masks.
Right.
That is hilarious.
When you work from home and somebody wants to have a video call.
Yes.
Oh my god, that was me this morning. Me and Amanda both sat there and we're like, oh, we should probably go get dressed since we have to talk to other people
I
later.
remember watching. So remember the whole video call thing used to be on the Jetsons, but way.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
And I remember at some point there was an episode, and I don't know why I remember this, but where they had masks that they would put on, like your hair's done up, your makeup's done up.
Oh,
a
yeah.
mask.
Oh, I think I remember
really?
that. I think I
Yeah,
remember
and
that.
It's
Yeah.
To go
just
on your
funny
call.
how all these years later, this is
Here
what it's
we
come
are.
back to.
This one, yep.
I would buy that.
It's crazy.
Artificial intelligence is no match for natural stupidity.
Yep.
That's a today one,
Right?
I think. Right?
Something's garage lids.
You're not supposed to look at the background.
Colton's garage lids. Oh, yeah.
Don't look at the background.
Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here.
That was great.
Yeah, Delaware
there you
visitor
go.
logs.
The hell is she cooking?
We
Something
don't-
on fire.
Yeah, we
But it's
don't-
on a gas stove.
It's on a gas stove, exactly.
Yep.
The irony of it all.
Shame.
All I can tell you, Peter, is that those classified documents were as secure as the border.
Yes.
Actually, more
I have
secure.
been watching.
Did she really
The
say
door
that?
was
It
closed.
is- so we're going to talk about it. So it is, for lack of a better word, it is a shit show in Washington right now. Not that it hasn't been for decades,
I was
But
gonna
even
say
more
more
so.
than it is
but
now.
now it is. So if anybody remembers back in 2016, when they found that Debbie Wasserman, whatever her name is, from
Schultz, wasn't it?
Schultz from
or whatever?
California, and they found that she was manipulating so Bernie Sanders was leading technically in the Democratic race to who was going to be nominated for the Democratic ticket
Yeah.
for president. And they basically said, nice try, Bernie, go sit down. We've got Hillary that's, being picked to do this.
Right.
And they found some shenanigans going on, ironically, right?
Wow.
And we'll just leave it as shenanigans. We don't want to say anything
Yeah,
else because
don't
we
say
don't want,
anything.
we'll get the little YouTube.
You get the
flag.
boot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
and then everybody kind of like, and then forgot about it, right? Everybody was like, okay,
As we
everything's
always
cool.
do.
Everything's
Mhm.
cool. Everything's cool.
Distracted
And
by
then-
the puppet.
And then, it turned out that now the same thing is kind of happening to the useful idiot in the White House today. His usefulness has been used.
It's expired.
And now all of a sudden, because they're, and I'm seeing it in multiple directions, a lot of outlets are saying, so you're telling me that the secret documents were found in the Penn Biden Center back in November, and it was suppressed, and then it all of a sudden
Of course it was
gets
suppressed.
leaked
Now.
now, right when he's about to make an announcement as to whether he really is, and
Gonna
after he
run.
just got done. So Macron from France was just in Washington, and he was overheard multiple times telling Macron, "Oh yeah, I'm absolutely running. I am rocking this bitch." And so they're like, okay,
With his
yeah,
ice
all right,
cream.
yeah, whatever you think, Joe. And then all of a sudden, like, whoops. Hey, guess what? Oh, we have document. Oops. Oh, there's more. Oh shit. Whoops.
That
Oh,
was a
shit.
whole bunch.
Oh,
There is a whole bunch of documents, and guess what? You might and it's funny how it's his lawyers that are finding it, or his
mhm.
staff
Yeah.
are finding it, and it's like, okay, so the jig is up. The deep state has turned on him, and all of a sudden it's turned into this very much, Joe, you're going to be lucky to stay out of jail at this point.
Right.
Or better yet,
All they're gonna do is a mental thing on him, and he's gonna be fine. He'll be let
yeah, but
out.
what's the everybody's got a price, right? Everybody's got a
He'll be in
thing.
a nursing
Everybody's got
home.
leverage. Everybody's got leverage against them. What would be the leverage for Joe?
Everything. His son.
No. Ding. That's it right
Yes, yeah.
there. If they threaten that they're going to throw Hunter in
Oh
jail.
my goodness, Christine! I can't believe you're late.
All right, we can start the
12
show
minutes.
now.
All right.
Oh, my
Start the intro
goodness.
over.
Start over. Show her the fat puppy dog one. She'll like that one. Go back. That
Are we
was
really
cute.
going back for Christine? I love it.
Come on, Christine. That's adorable. That's the best one ever.
That's pretty cute.
So, because like Wendy said, Wendy and I were talking about this earlier in the week, and she goes, "Are they really going to be able to stop him? He is the president." Yeah, but they all of a sudden,
who makes that decision whether or not you're running for president? I mean, I can say I'm running for president.
Well, anybody can. Yeah, I mean, you can sit there and announce today.
So what's the difference?
But the thing is, unless you have a party that's going to put money into your account to be able to pay for all the,
so they just choose not to back him.
You're right.
Right. But this is it. But now they don't want the embarrassment of it. So they want him to step down quietly. They want him to be able to
he's
say.
He's not going to remember that he's even president.
Well, he's remembering enough.
Because he's living the ding. Put him in a care home and for a week, he won't know who he is.
I mean, cue the ice cream truck. And,
he's
Cue stage left. But at this point, they want him to just kind of gracefully go, you know what? I guess I'm just too old for this. This is, a lot harder than what it was 8 years ago.
I watched a video today with Kareem, Jean-Claude Van Damme, whatever the fricker nuts is.
It's rubbing off on you, isn't it?
She referred to Kamala as the president in one of her speeches.
Get out.
I don't know if that was an accident.
Yes,
she did. A lot of people have done it.
Well, he's done it multiple times.
Well, he's done it a million times, but he doesn't know anything.
He still doesn't know he's president.
Yeah.
But
it's one of those things that it's funny because of the fact that he's gotten to a point where the DNC, we'll call it the DNC, and the deep state and the political machine, whatever, pick one, that runs the Democratic side of what's going on in Washington, has basically said, Joe, thank you for your service. We're putting you out to pasture. It may not be pretty.
Go eat some ice cream.
And you see that some of these people are either one, there's three, because there's three camps I see in Washington right now.
Yeah.
There are, and these are of the Democratic variety, Democratic variety camps right now. There are those that are saying, Joe, your time to go. Mm-hmm. There are those that are out to just cover their ass because they know that they're in it. They're flapping in the wind, and they realize that they could get burned with this. They know that what's going on, but they're also trying to cover their ass because they realize this could go really bad.
Yeah. Right.
And then there's those like Karine Jean-Pierre.
Van Damme.
She, I think, is still trying to, she's not in the loop.
Right.
She's on the outside.
She's on the outside. She's on the president's side. She's going down with Biden.
Right.
And so, which, I mean,
whatever.
You get a new president, you get a new president, you're going to get a new press secretary.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she's going down with him. So she is trying her damnedest to keep this afloat. And she is bailing water,
she's
but
trying
there's
to
a
look
huge
good
hole
for
and this
her.
thing is going down.
Well, it's like Peppermint Patty. She saw the writing on the wall. She got
She's
the hell
like,
out.
well,
I will say that, she probably had enough friends in Washington that she knew what was going on, even though she wasn't officially in the loop.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
She had enough people that were like, maybe you should, look for a
job.
Because KJP came from MSNBC, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was a commentator. She was a quote unquote political insider, but she had been doing the political talk shows forever.
She wasn't on The View.
No, she wasn't on The View, but she was.
You want to have one of them as the press secretary? That'd be
hilarious.
They'd be throwing stuff. It'd be great. Hilarious.
Joy Bay or
Whoopi.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
That'd be great.
That's crazy.
So funny.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens because I firmly believe that those are the three camps that are sitting there in Washington.
Oh yeah.
And everybody right now is trying to pony up for power and figuring out where they're going to end up. It's basically, what do they call it? Musical chairs.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're trying to figure out, everybody's trying to keep an eye on that one chair because they want to put their ass in it.
Right.
It's a different chair. It's a different chair for everybody.
It's a great analogy.
It is.
That's a great analogy.
No, that's
Absolutely.
That totally makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
The ones that are like, no, Joe, I think you should. I think you're good. And the other ones were like, oh crap, I'm going down with them. I better save myself.
Right?
Well, and Bongino talks about it a lot, and he says, there's a Democratic congressman who made some offhanded remark, and it may be one of those times where sometimes the blind squirrel might have actually found the nut.
Oh no.
Because he tried insinuating that the Republican Party planted these classified documents at the Penn Biden Center.
How could they plant them?
Right.
But his lawyers.
But on the other hand,
his lawyers are the ones that found them, or
his staff.
He may have been so close. Was it the Republicans that planted it?
Or his own staff,
or somebody within the Democratic Party going, we're gonna just leak this when the time comes. We've got a bomb sitting there, and we can just pull the pin on it whenever we want.
Yep.
That's an interesting perspective.
But is it really a bomb?
I mean, this is the stuff that you could write a novel. This is a novel worthy type of what's going on right now in Washington. This could literally be a bestseller if somebody had the talent to write it.
I think Bios Books can write it.
Dan,
there you go.
Dan, fire up the computer.
Time to start getting political. I mean, so
don't type it on your phone because it'll be all full of mistakes.
Yeah.
So I mean, with Trump and Margot Alot being rated by the FBI for pretty much the same thing.
Right.
I mean, that's setting a precedent.
But he was the president at the time.
There's another
right.
While he was president.
Yeah, but it's worse because Biden didn't have the authority to declassify anything.
Absolutely.
So,
but they can't just ignore it because they're setting a precedent with Biden, or not with Biden. I'm sorry, with Trump. They're setting a precedent with that. So, I mean, they can't just sweep this under the carpet and just say, oh, well,
I don't know. We still haven't mentally checked our freaking president now. And how many times did we do it to Trump?
But see, the point is, I hope Joe or somebody close to Joe, somebody that's in Joe's camp, realizes how bad this could be.
How bad it is.
How bad this could be. Because right now, and I'm going to talk about this a little later, the mainstream media has been going, no, it's apples to oranges. I mean, it's not the same. But then all of a sudden, starting yesterday, CNN turned.
Oh.
And the question is, are they all going to start to turn?
Right.
And at the end, are they going to burn Biden to be able to get to Trump? We took down this president. This guy's just as guilty.
How so, though? Because it's not the same.
It's not, but if they could make enough case, if they could make a big enough case, because you're sitting there and most logical people would say, well, now Trump is shielded because you're going to have the exact same thing on the current sitting president.
And nothing's going to happen.
Right. And unfortunately, the Republicans are becoming useful idiots to the Democrats because, again, how many times we talk about how the Democrats play the long game.
Mm-hmm. And we're on the short
this
game.
may be their long plan where they go, and then we just let a few of these, drip, 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 drip. And then next thing you know, guess what? The GOP grabs it and they run with it. Next thing you know, they throw in an impeachment thing out because they're in charge of the House.
Right.
There's enough people pissed about it in the Senate and we, hey, just, so now all of a sudden we get enough votes in the Senate. Boom. We got an impeached president. Kamala will, do whatever we tell her to do. We'll throw Buttigieg in there as VP, and then he's ready to go next go around.
I don't think it's going to play out the way they think, though.
How so?
Can't we going to finish our memes?
Because
are we done with the memes?
I don't know.
I thought we were done with the memes.
No, I don't think any of them stand a chance in 24. Buttigieg or
this is as far as they've gotten.
I know, but
the biggest flaw to the whole plan is that their bench sucks.
Yeah,
that's the biggest flaw to their plan. And their only outside hope is Hochul in New York, Kathy Hochul, or Gavin out in California. Those are their two heavy hitters.
Yeah,
nobody knows anybody else. But keep that thought though. Because I have a question of the week, and there's audience participation that's requested for this.
Nice. All right, continue on with memes. I like this one.
Getting a bit cold. Let me throw another log on the fire and visitor logs.
Nice.
That's actually cute.
See, I thought this was funny. Back in my day, there was so much toilet paper and eggs that we would throw them at our houses of our enemies.
It still happens today, doesn't it?
Not as much.
It's expensive.
Yeah, $9.
$9 again.
Slabs roof of the Corvette.
Okay.
This bad boy can fit so many classified documents next to it.
Was that was like that's part of a Rock Auto commercial?
Right?
They just put Biden in.
Well, technically, I think this was an Archer thing.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, your speech is policed more than our southern border.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, especially on
is.
YouTube.
Oh,
Absolutely
Can't get kicked off for picking on YouTube, can we?
No. This was disturbing.
oh my gosh. There are some things you just can't unsee.
When things- what do you mean? When things get this out of hand, sometimes you just got to walk away.
Yep. That's for sure. And I'm going to walk away from that right now.
Shoes is he wearing?
I'm telling you, that is the best.
That is funny.
Garage
That
gate.
is funny.
Oh my goodness.
And then finally, we had this one.
China stealing classified documents from Joe Biden, a garage door.
Wow.
I'll save those other two for later.
We got more?
They're not memes. They're stories.
They're stories.
I just don't want to get into
Do we have a
discussion
hooker
on them now. No, we do not.
We do not have a hooker.
Kareem
She's been
Van
busy.
Dam could be your.
You've been busy.
Yeah, there you
LCD's
go.
been busy.
Well, we had the family here this weekend too.
How did that go?
I got to snuggle a
Excellent.
fat baby.
It was fun.
It was great.
It was great to see everybody.
She's just rolls on rolls. She's so cute.
Aw.
Oh
Sorry,
my
guys,
God.
not keeping up on the comments tonight. It's flying solo.
And then
So-
the
Oh,
other
I see.
one,
I see. Even Andrea is saying, "Go, Dan, go."
Right?
So, I mean, if somebody could actually put this, pen to paper, it would be a good
God,
story.
don't give Dad ideas because then he's gonna want to print it.
It would be a great story.
What do you mean? How is that a bad idea?
Because Mom's gonna yell at you.
It's your bestseller, Dad.
Why?
Oh, Kathy can't stay mad at me for long.
Oh, I don't know. She threw water on me this week.
What?
What?
Get out. What'd you do?
We were playing cards with the family, and she got mad.
So
Were
the
you
left is now
cheating?
claiming Obama
No.
gave Biden the power to declassify classified documents.
You got to stop listening to Twitter. No, because Obama does not have the power to do that. He cannot
Oh, Will's
hand
here.
power.
Hi, Will.
He cannot
Hey, Will.
hand power to the VP.
Not that kind of power, right?
Not that kind
Ice
of power.
cream,
Yeah.
you can, but you know.
Can.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's about it.
All right, news of the week.
News of the week.
Okay.
Here we go. News of the week.
Play the music.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's a
It's something like that,
great,
right?
great improv.
Will, you are missed.
You are
Well,
missed.
we
Oh.
miss you.
Oh, Will didn't see the goat.
Oh, wait. And I know, but
at
he's
the
here now.
beginning.
You'll have to watch it.
Well, you
All
have
right.
to go back.
We're
Come
gonna,
on, man.
we're gonna start off with the come on man because this guy, I mean, so he said this back in June at a thing. He said, "Do you realize that the bullet out of an AR-15 travels 5 times as rapidly as a bullet shot
Wow.
out of any other gun?"
And how does he know this?
Because he's the president. He knows everything.
Oh, okay.
5 times. And
This
then he
is-
said yesterday,
Out of
if you
any
need to
other
worry
gun.
about taking on the federal government, you need some F-15s. You don't need an AR-15.
He said that a long time ago, too.
Yeah.
He also said that a long time ago, but he repeated it again yesterday, along with the whole deer with Kevlar vest bullshit.
If you need to worry about taking on the federal government,
His whole point was that
that
he,
there makes me concerned.
Right.
well, he basically discounted the entire Second Amendment.
Oh, yeah.
So
Well, he's telling us that all we need to do is just trust him.
trust the government. Trust the
Yeah.
government. Trust him. He's got our whole best interest at heart.
Yeah.
Nope.
So I
This
mean,
is the same asshat that said walk outside and point your shotgun in the air and shoot it, right?
this is the same ass hat that
Did he really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh,
he
said
told
that a
he
while
told
ago.
that to, he said that in an interview that he told Jill to do that years
Right.
ago. Just if anybody comes to the door,
Just walk outside.
if you're
and
worried, just shoot a
shoot in the
shotgun
air.
and
Do a couple shots in the air.
that'll because
That'll
again,
scare him away.
this is what
Okay.
he thinks will happen.
Right.
Yep.
So
In his
all right.
dementia state, I'm sure it is. Hmm?
So obviously we know that classified documents are okay as long as they're stored next to a Corvette.
Keeps it safe.
The non-existent deep state, we already talked about this, is turning on itself. There's no visitor logs, but my question is, and I wrote this earlier in the week, but Bongino addressed it either yesterday or today, and he said the Secret Service does not keep a log of everybody that comes, but they run every name.
Yeah.
Because he brought up a good point. He goes, terrorists do come see the president.
Oh yeah.
Also, Yasser Arafat came and saw Reagan multiple times.
Yeah.
He goes, the Taliban comes and sees the president.
Yeah, but at their personal residence?
Well, I mean, wherever it happens. So, but the point is that, I mean,
why would, so my question is a sitting, not
but
even president,
he
but
wasn't
vice president.
He was vice president.
Right.
No,
but are they required to keep visitor logs? To me, I would say that's kind of a little out of the ordinary. Why would you do that?
Yeah. Why
but the question
is,
I could see in the White House, but in their personal residence.
Wiener
wow.
I mean, it's unfortunate that, you know, and there's something I'm going to bring up a little bit later that just watch. And so my prediction, and I have this, you know, we'll just skip ahead here real quick right here. Watch for the mainstream media. So this is what's going to happen. Their mainstream media is going to be in sheep's clothing. They're all of a sudden going to jump on Biden because it'll do twofold. One, it'll make them seem more legit.
Absolutely. Like
because now all of a sudden they're attacking somebody on the left.
Yeah.
But they're also going to perform the dirty work for the DNC or whatever, or the deep state, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. And
this is where they start attaching or attacking the drip.
Yeah.
And because you see now CBS and ABC and a couple others, CNN, are attacking KJP and saying, but what about this? And you know, one of them asked yesterday, I think it was, said, do you feel like your credibility has been harmed? And she's like, no, I'm telling you what I've been told, telling you what we thought at the time, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no. And none of them are buying it because one, they've all been read into the story that this is BS, and they all know the music already.
Right.
They have the sheet music in front of them. They know where this is going. A couple of them are still trying to be journalists, and they're jumping ahead.
You're like, wait, you're reading ahead in the book.
Yeah, because they want to get their name out there because they still want to be able to say, well, I called it first.
Yep.
Do you think, though, and I don't want to give the media any credit at all because they don't deserve it, but do you think any of these people are sitting back going, guys, we just can't protect this idiot anymore. We just can't keep doing
absolutely.
what we're doing.
But I think that there was a point where there was a wink and a nod back as far as 2 years ago. I said, don't worry, just protect him today.
It'll change.
But a time will come.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like The Godfather, right?
Yeah.
You know, I may call next week. I may call 3 years from now. But when I call, you better be ready.
Better be ready.
Yep. And I think this was all part of the thing. They're gonna come back and they're gonna say, you know, now is the time. Go ahead and you know, release the dogs of war.
Wow.
Did you see that? So the Secret Service should have a log of names they've run.
Yeah.
The Secret Service is anal in that respect, that they will have paperwork upon paperwork, backing up paperwork of what investigations of whose names they've run.
Well, because if something happens, they got to be able to go back to their records and say,
nothing else. They want to protect themselves.
Right.
Government agency, they want to protect themselves. Right. You know, Arthur can probably talk to, I mean, while there's things that are done sloppy in the federal government, as far as paperwork to be able to protect your ass, that's usually done very well.
Right. Right.
For sure.
One of the things that was brought up in the last couple of days that I thought was interesting. So they drip that something that was in the documents was information on Ukraine, information on the UK, and information on Iran. But we've heard nothing other than just there's information on those three.
Oh, because it's classified.
Right. But on the other hand,
but it was declassified when it came to his house. So now it's
the point
declassified.
Is, so
no,
I mean,
he can't.
But Wendy brings up a great point.
But that's what they said.
But the point is, it's classified.
Right.
Or is it classified?
Or is it? Right.
Because if Obama gave Biden, which he doesn't have the authority to declassify his own information, then all right,
put it out there.
Put it out there. It's declassified.
If it's declassified.
If it is classified, then why not take a picture of it and show the world?
That would be a catch-22.
But you know, why not take a picture and show the world like you did at Mar-a-Lago?
Right.
And he's already said, well, yeah, a couple of those were just empty folders that said top secret on them. I mean, they've admitted that. But where is, I mean, the bigger thing is by this point in the Mar-a-Lago investigation, somebody was already taking inventory.
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing has been, no inventory has been taken. The DOJ has been asked. They're like, no, you got it. Really?
Is it literally just
You're telling me
there?
that top secret equipment, top secret documents
Files,
are being reviewed by personal lawyers, not government lawyers, not FBI agents. They had to remember back during the whole Mar-a-Lago thing.
Are we really surprised by all this?
No,
Okay.
No, but
Not at all.
But my point is,
the two-edged sword.
they're kicking the can down the road, not to get out of it. They're kicking the can down the road until it's convenient.
Well, of course.
Somebody's taking the fall for this, and we all know who.
Well, when they
Yep.
did the Mar-a-Lago thing with Trump, did they have government attorneys looking at the paperwork?
No, it was
So
the
there was a
DOJ,
point where they
wasn't
sat
it?
there and they had to have the FBI agents.
Arthur's got a good point.
So they had the FBI agents had to be hand and closer, and I doubt that they have proper clearance to handle it. Absolutely.
That was my point.
That's exactly it. And then, so during Mar-a-Lago, they brought up the exact same thing, that some of these agents that are looking at this don't have the proper clearances.
Right.
So they ended up having to get agents that could get
That
the
could
proper
have this.
clearance to be
Yeah.
able to go through and verify what these documents were.
Yeah.
But now in this case, we just have people
Lawyers.
just thumbing through.
And
it.
the funny thing
who
is,
knows? God knows what they're seeing.
And the funny thing is, they're saying that some of this, so the top levels of where of top secret goes or secret documents go is, so you have classified, you have secret, you have top secret, and there's several other levels, but the top level is compartmentalized secret information.
There seems to be a breakdown of procedure here.
There's only a few people that, I mean, this is basically eyes only.
It's
type
literally
stuff.
the president.
Right, of
And that's it.
This is stuff that, unless you're in a skiff or you are the what do you want to call it? The room that actually created the document.
Right.
Mhm.
So, the DNS creates a document to be sent to the president, and it's, compartmentalized information. It gets put into a briefcase, locked, the whole thing, sent with a guy who has that level
clearance.
of confidentiality to go to the president, hand it directly to the
Right.
president.
And then
The
he takes it
president
back.
views it and then gives it back,
Yeah. That's
or
it.
Go lock it up,
decides
yeah.
what to do with it.
Yeah.
Doesn't just hand it to a secretary and go, here, throw this in the file cabinet
Yeah.
Or garage.
or a
Our
garage.
garage.
So, I mean, this is so wrong on so many levels. I mean, but the point is, again, the old man's going to take a fall.
Yeah.
And he's not going to like this. At best, he's going to be treading water to try and keep Hunter out of prison.
He shouldn't
At
be.
worst-
What's going to happen to his wife?
Yeah, SCI. Yep, you're absolutely right, Arthur. Yep. So,
What does SCI stand for?
something
Clearance.
compartmentalized
Okay,
information.
okay.
I forget exactly off the top of my head because I've been drinking, but I never had. I mean, this is way above me. The best I ever had was a top secret security clearance. I never had anything above that, so this is stuff way above my
Way
head.
above you.
We've been in a skip though.
I've been in multiple skiffs.
Those things are freaky.
And
What is a skiff?
so a skiff is, and I forget exactly what it stands for, but basically it's a room
I used to know.
to look at top secret information. It is crazy secure
Yeah.
in the fact that you go out of the room into a room and out of that room into the
The main room.
The
main room, the skiff. So there's a like a waiting room, for lack of a better way to put
Yeah.
it. There's a waiting room out of the general area to get into, and then you go from the waiting room into the
real
actual
room.
information room. They have white noise generators, so that way you can't hear anything that's going on in the room. They're specially insulated. There are
Wow, that's crazy.
Oh,
there
they're
are
serious.
alarm cables that run through the electrical conduits.
It's crazy.
What?
So if you
So you can't hack it or anything, yeah, 'cause what if you try to put, like, a
the
microphone in
problem is that, yeah, I mean,
there?
we have problems where the generals are in there or whatever, and if they're accidentally taking their foot and tapping against the little, there's something under the table and they're just sitting there nervous and not paying attention. And it's setting off alarms because
it's a weird noise.
Well, it's not even a weird noise. It's just the fact that it's setting off a vibration detection
sensor,
in the every
room.
electrical. Think about your house, right? Every electrical cover is alarmed.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So you take the electrical cover off, it's going to set off an alarm. I mean, there's all these different things that are crazy. I can't even talk about it a lot, but and Arthur knows, he's worked in it, so, I mean, there are so many crazy things that go on in there that it's so secure.
That's crazy.
And
it's nuts.
It's this is the only place where this stuff's supposed to be.
And that waiting room that you got to leave all your belongings. You can't take
cell phones. Cameras are not allowed in there.
Which makes sense.
A lot of times they don't even let you take tools. Like you have to bring specialized tools, and they have to check your tools.
They have to check your tools. You have to your tools have to be checked in.
Because what if you take a screw out? Now you put a screw in that has a camera.
Well, it has to be checked out. It has to be checked in.
Yeah.
So the idea is the fact that and there's all these different things. I mean, I've got silly stories about skiffs, and they have to have their own security, the space can be secured with like security, but they have to be their own standalone security system just for that skiff. And so it's crazy.
That's crazy. It all makes sense once you break it all down.
I've done government skiffs and I've done defense contractor skiffs, and they're crazy.
My God.
Andrea, we're gonna have so much fun when we get down there.
Right.
Arthur's gonna have a hard time.
There going like this.
We're gonna be down there for doing a 3-hour show, and Arthur's gonna go, all right, I'm gonna get a 30-second reel out of this.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, we're not gonna get
so
much time.
See the president, a couple things are on this last line here. Demented Republicans. So this is what he called the demented Republicans are not fiscally responsible. And he's talking about how
so? I mean,
he's talking about
context?
because he's talking about this whole thing here with the, we're going to reach our debt limit by tomorrow.
And that's the Republicans' fault?
Probably.
Because the Republicans are already pushing back and saying, we're not going to do it.
So they want to raise the limit.
So I remember this.
Of course they want to raise the limit.
So we've done this multiple times. And I remember this happened during the Obama administration because I was outraged by the fact that whitehouse.gov was up and running. But the FBI's list on lost and exploited children, or however that's phrased,
was shut down.
Was shut down. And it literally had a splash screen that said, shut down due to government shutdown, or offline because of government shutdown, or whatever like that. But the White House webpage was up and running.
Of course it was.
And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, you're telling me Obama's paying for this out of his own pocket?
That's so much more important.
Here's your SCIF meaning: sensitive compartmental information facility.
There we go. Yep. So
I like Andrea's better.
So I was just got one for me. Okay.
A skiff?
Well, don't ask. So but it's outrageous that they're doing the exact same thing. This is the end of the world if we don't do this by tomorrow. Well, I've seen many different, probably about 5 different economists talk about this, either read about it or seen interviews with them. They're saying, first of all, this stops us from being able to put any more on credit.
Yep, which we need to.
On the flip side, we have enough cash in the bank, theoretically, to go till June or July before we have to stop paying bills. The federal government does. And the old man was sitting there saying yesterday, and I again go back to the last part of this. He was sitting there and he was touting about his Inflation Reduction Act and how he saved all this money on the deficit.
Mm-hmm.
But did he?
That's a good point, because the raw numbers are, and then we're vastly rounding off a lot.
Alexa was just, or Siri or whatever, was just listening to us.
I saw that.
We bring in about, so in taxes, we bring it in about $4.5 trillion.
Yeah.
We spend currently roughly around $6 trillion, but he said he saved $1 trillion.
I would like to see that on paper.
I mean, I like his math, but
I
no.
know. Oh,
Yeah.
it's Common
I
Core
wish
math.
it was that. I wish it was that easy.
Okay. Now
You
it
know,
makes sense.
ladies and gentlemen, we have an accountant here. She can tell you that
That's not the
doesn't add
same.
up.
Common Core uses cookies to count math. I guess he uses ice cream cones.
There you go.
Right?
Hey,
I mean,
You know what? You got to
I-
utilize whatever you can.
I wish it must be that new math.
Then yeah,
it is
Maybe.
new math.
Common Core math. Yeah.
Oh my
Well, that's
God.
the same as Hunter's math, where he's paying, 50
Which I do have
grand for
a.
rent.
Do I have a side question?
Okay.
How does the new math work on a calculator?
They don't use it.
They don't use calculators.
They don't use calculators. They use
They're
their
not
phones.
supposed to.
I mean, I know the new math is supposed to be based off of something that China does for math,
I never learned it. I was one of the last ones that didn't have to.
Yeah.
but
They started.
all I
after
know
me.
is I'm sitting there and I was looking at.
It doesn't make sense to me at all.
No,
At all.
And I think they change it because, like, when I was in school, my
Numbers are
mom's like,
easy.
that's not how I learned it. And I think they purposely change it for each generation so
no,
parents can't help the kids do the
I don't think it's that.
homework.
I don't think that it's that because somebody's got to come up with a way to do it.
And it's obviously not working because you see these kids in these
They're so
stores and they
stupid.
can't
They can't even count
do
by
right.
a
They
change.
can't count
But
by.
if
Well,
you
they can't
do
count
it- if
change
you
'cause they
can't
don't
do it on
actually
here.
deal
How are
with
you going to
change.
do it?
They can't. That's
They
the
don't.
thing.
You know,
You starting. That's why they're not taking cash at places anymore.
Because they don't know how to
Because
count
they don't know how to
change.
count. They don't account. It's
Good
true.
point. Good, no,
It's so
good point.
true. It's
Good
sad.
point.
I mean, I feel bad about myself because of the fact that I used to be able to
Your
I was-
Siri is
I was a
listening to you.
cashier.
Turn that hooker off.
I was at a cashier at a gas station back in the day, and I had gotten so good, I would sit there and do all the math in my head,
Yeah.
and hand out the change. I didn't have to.
Well, it becomes
Yeah.
it becomes just a habit. Like you just
because
can do it.
in
Yeah.
my effort to try and get people in and out
Yeah.
the door, that was faster
gotta
than
go.
trying
Yeah.
to punch in all the numbers.
Mhm.
I remember when I worked a couple of places I worked, but one particular place was the gym that I worked at, and I worked front desk. At the end of my shift, I had to reconcile my cash register
Yep.
drawer.
Mhm.
You know, I had to do all the receipts. I had to count the money that was in
Yep.
there. How do these kids do that? They have no clue how to do
They
that
don't. The
stuff.
machine tells them.
Right.
I was going to say
The machine tells them.
It's
where
crazy.
the machine does everything for them.
Have you ever? I mean, when you go to the bank, when I was a bank teller, everything was
Yes, Andrea.
That's Arthur.
Arthur. No, that's Andrea. Oh,
No, that's Arthur.
that is Arthur. Sorry.
Siri is the hooker of the week.
She is. She just keeps popping up.
Keeps
She's like,
popping up
"How
on
can
my
I help
iPad.
you?"
I don't know why.
Hey Siri.
She's listening to us.
Hey Siri.
She won't answer to hook. Hey,
That's
hooker.
gotta-
Oh,
That's
this
your- that's
one's
your
going
phone.
on. Sorry,
It
this
should
one's
only
going
Yours
on.
is going on.
This one's going on.
Should only reply to your voice, but
It should only reply to yours, but it doesn't. She goes off all the time.
wow.
Wow. So
Okay.
apparently she.
I
is
know.
a-
I tried. I turned her off on my phone. I was the only thing I was excited about when I got an Apple. I was like, oh, but she doesn't answer to hooker. So I
No,
turned her
she
off.
doesn't.
Yeah, you can change the name that she responds to you, but you cannot change the name of Siri.
No, because all the
I would,
programming is
I
written
would
with
still
Siri,
say, hey,
that's
hooker
why.
Siri, but she just still doesn't
Did
answer.
you ever see that Big Bang episode where it was like refer to me as sexy?
Oh,
I did. I do remember that.
Oh my god,
Oh my
that was
God,
so
that
funny.
was funny.
And I just had my brand new iPhone, and me and one of my kids are watching that, and he goes leaping. He jumps off the couch, leaping for my phone, and I grabbed it just in time. I was like, "No, you are
Don't
not
do
changing
it."
it." I'm like, "No."
That's funny.
That's hilarious.
So we're gonna
So
reach our debt
funny.
limit by Thursday.
Nah.
Did you
We'll
see
be
that Biden blocked July 4th fireworks at Mount Rushmore again?
Why?
because he did it last year, right?
He did it last
Yeah,
year.
but why is he
Because
doing
of the
it?
Rona, he did it last year. Sure.
No,
Why are we
And he
doing it
did
now?
it, and he did it
I
in
don't
20
think.
also. But the question is, they don't know. I mean,
He doesn't want to pay
come
for
up-
fireworks?
He doesn't come up with any good
But didn't
reason.
they come out with a story a couple
So,
years
but-
ago saying that Mount Rushmore is racist or
Yes,
something?
that's
Didn't
what I
right? Wasn't
thought.
there a story?
Well,
that came
yeah.
out?
You know why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's on there?
Presidents.
Which presidents?
I don't know.
Washington,
The old ones.
Yeah, there's one.
Lincoln.
Yeah, there's two.
Jefferson?
The ones that were
Yeah,
slave
there's
owners.
three.
Oh, is that right?
We
That
need
was
to go
pretty
back
good.
to our. You know, what was that one episode? That was
I didn't get any of them right.
about ignorance of something. I forget what it was.
Civic
Totally me.
ignorance.
And then
Don't know any of it.
no, actually, it's not Jefferson.
Damn it. I'm going to be so excited.
I know. I
I thought I did that. That's the only presidents I know.
Say Obama.
Obama's on there. No, I know his black ass ain't on there.
No, so it's Teddy Roosevelt,
Okay.
George Washington,
Okay.
Lincoln.
Abe Lincoln. And is it Teddy Roosevelt? I think it might be.
So why are they racist?
How many of them are Democrats?
I didn't even know they
Probably
were. How
none.
are you going to tell me how many of them were?
So Wendy's got the right answer.
Well, back
None.
in the day, yeah.
None.
Yeah.
None of them are Democrats.
So
Why do you think the Democratic president doesn't want there to be fireworks at
such
Mount
a
Rushmore?
fucking pansy.
Think about it. Because
Give him an ice cream. He'll be fine.
Everything is about politics in Washington.
But I don't
my
understand
God.
how they deemed it racist a couple of years ago, though. Because remember when they were doing all the statues and everything?
Now, granted, they were trying to do this. They were calling it racist back during when Trump was still in office.
Right.
Well, that's when they
And
tore
he
everything
made,
down,
and
too.
he made a special comment that because he used it as the key to creating legislation that if you defaced a national monument, you were going to jail. Period. End of story. And so, that being said, they I mean, right now it's just a matter of they're just trying to, twist a narrative. That's all. It's all it is. It's just it's politics.
Ridiculous.
So see that
seriously?
yes, they're going back to that court.
I swear to God,
Back
if they
to
go
that
back to that,
judge.
I am gonna wear panties on my face when we fly.
Are they really going back to man?
See, now that's
Masks?
not fair because now I want that.
Right.
So I
I
can get
want to
kicked
see
off
the
the
picture
plane?
because that would be on national news.
I would do it with
Well-
my CTC shirt on.
They've been trying to do that, Will.
Yeah,
Erase the
so
past.
talk
they're
about
doing a very good job of it.
1984, right?
Yeah, no shit.
So yeah, so the Biden administration is going back to that judge that put it that stopped the mask mandate, and they're asking for a review to put it back in place. So, do you see the WF is going on in Switzerland right now?
Mm.
The what?
The World Economic Forum.
Oh,
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but didn't Soros back out of it or something, or he didn't?
Soros said. Now it's funny. Soros says that he had a conflict.
Oh, really? It was a conflict?
Really? How do you have a conflict?
conflict of not needing to see the president eat ice cream.
So I saw a meme that a certain someone wasn't invited. Is that true?
No.
Okay.
So he's not. It's not that he wasn't invited. He was invited,
Okay.
and there are, I think they said, 14 different politicians plus the FBI director
Oh, really?
is in Switzerland at this thing right now. But the question
Is
is,
Fauci there?
no.
Oh, good.
Interesting.
But it's, and so there are both politicians on the left and right that are there. A couple of them that are pretty strong Republicans that are basically saying they're going to tout, pro-American, pro-capitalism, blah, 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 basically everything against the World Economic Forum's
yeah.
mandates
Playbook,
and things. So, but we'll see what happens. I mean, but on the other hand, it's interesting that, it is going on. It doesn't go away. Biden's not there. Putin's not there. They have delegations that are there.
So who's there?
Almost all the other countries are
Okay.
there. A bunch from Europe, a bunch from Asia.
Yeah.
Um,
Middle East has a big presence.
big presence.
in,
Yeah,
WEF.
because Klaus
Mhm.
was stating again that China.
China.
If I clicked on this, actually, what that would say is, that Klaus said that China was the country to follow. That they're setting
Really?
the standard.
They're dying of COVID. Yeah,
Good.
they're
But it doesn't
let's go
matter.
set
It doesn't
that
matter
standard.
about your health is not the issue.
right
It all comes down to just
population control.
And and if anybody wants to sit there and say, so you see a bunch of, and I seen this in something that came up actually on Bongino's either yesterday or today, and they talk about the World Economic Forum. If you go and you look on Amazon, go as
Mhm.
simple as just the basic, go look on Amazon and read some of the reviews about COVID-19, the Great Reset,
Mm-hmm.
because you get a lot of those on the left that sit there and say it's all about just how do we get our economy started again after the shutdown. That's what the book is about.
Right.
No, it's not. Read about it. Read actually about the book. Don't just read what somebody tells you it is. If you read about the book, it literally is about a one world order. It is about how to be able to get rid of capitalism and how everybody's going to fall into some kind of socialistic utopia, and that the whole world will be just better this way with just a handful of oligarchs that are running it.
I'm not going to get off on a COVID tangent because we're going to save that for our episode that we do. But somebody replayed the other day a video of Fauci 3 days before Trump got in office saying that this administration was going to have to deal with a surprise pandemic. He literally said that verbatim.
I remember that
in a speech. How does anybody believe that other bullshit at this point?
Well, here's one thing I noticed, though. If you go back and you look through history, because again,
history repeats itself.
History repeats itself. And the old idiom about the fact that, those that do not study history or follow history or remember history are doomed to repeat it. It's just a quirk.
I know.
Oh.
I'm trying to get it out.
Okay.
Thank you for your help, though.
Sorry, folks. Having a inside conversation.
She's going to throw it on you.
No, she's not. She's not going to waste any of this stuff.
That's true.
she'll beat me up later.
Exactly.
So
John's going to come in with a black eye.
Yeah.
Be like,
it'll look like the corner of a salty caramel bottle. And so
exactly.
But we were due. So if you go
and
back,
that's what they've been saying.
And so roughly, give or take,
pandemic?
Every 100 years there's a pandemic.
There's one.
Roughly, give or take. I mean, it varies.
Because it was 19.
Now, granted, the
1919, 1912 was the Spanish flu.
Spanish flu, yeah.
And so, I mean, the funniness of China's involvement in this throws a little bit of a curve into it, but
funniness
the fact that
or
we
overall,
made it.
if you look at the past history of the world, we were due. So, and we're due for a lot of things. So I've said in past, we had the conversation about prepping, if you want to call it prepping. And, you would ask, I think, Keith, you would ask me the question, what is it that I think that's could
necessary
happen?
Oh yeah.
And one of the things that, so what we always try to, what Wendy and I look at is just, just basic stuff to be able to be a little bit more self-sufficient so that we're, we think it's just a lost art in being able to sustain for yourself a little bit.
Right.
But on the other hand, I do think that we are massively overdue for a corona event, they call it.
Yeah.
And it's basically the sun sends out a big burst and it
the solar.
one half of the world will have an overload.
Yeah.
Right? And so we're massively overdue for that.
Yeah, but you can't predict it. You can't really, that's a natural
they don't know,
event.
and they don't know. I mean, you can't, because the sun is wildly unpredictable.
Right.
They don't know when that'll happen.
Right.
And it may be another 100 years before it happens, but it is
could
going
be 1,000 years. I mean,
but there's going to be a point where it does happen.
Yeah, but I mean, anybody can say, that's what irritates me about this. I agree with you that history repeats itself. I have no doubt that happens. But the thing is, with the whole COVID thing, we could say, we're due for a pandemic, but it was everything fell into place
too perfectly.
Like it was a perfect plan.
Oh, trust me.
The perfect storm.
I read so many fiction books that talk about this. And one that kind of haunted me a little bit was the fact that they did this and then literally they paid Chinese stewardesses to go and walk down the aisle of aircraft before people came on, and they would spray every third row with an aerosol of some sort.
Right.
We don't want to get banned, but it just, and it's like, that is so easy to do.
Isn't it sad that we can't talk openly about it? That's what I find sad.
Well, and again, welcome to
probably two
of
those.
Welcome to the current state of affairs in the United States, which is sad.
Well,
here's the funny thing. You just brought up a great point. So if you tomorrow, John, wrote a sci-fi book on what took place from 2019, late 2019 to now, it'd be a bestseller. You could talk about it on every show you want. But as soon as you say that it's reality and it's happening,
That this is what
yeah.
happened.
Oh, that's
you're
interesting.
done.
Yeah.
As soon as you put any
Right?
truth behind
Well,
it.
you know, again, we need bios to books to write it, not me.
Mm,
So
Crazy stuff.
if COVID was a true pandemic, they would not have had it announced
Exactly.
every day.
everybody
Well,
would
and again,
actually.
it's
well,
like we
and
talked
truly-
about earlier. It's, you know, it's funny how,
Well,
And
and
people
again,
are
how do we
catching
have to
on.
choose our words carefully? It's funny how all of a
oh, that's
sudden
true.
outlets are coming out and saying that the numbers were different.
Right.
The
100%.
numbers were
How many
overblown.
times did I scream it every day?
Well, we all
and
did,
you guys
because
were
we
like,
talked
this
about
and this,
if
and
you
I'm
had a
like, I just
motorcycle
came from the
accident and all of a
hospital
sudden you became a
and no, it's not.
Yeah,
Like,
because we talked about, you know, heart attacks and auto accidents, and all of a sudden
Being
they were
claimed as
becoming
that.
statistics.
absolutely, because
and
you had to get tested.
Now
You
all of
had
a
to do
sudden
this.
the truth is coming out.
There's a lot
Hey,
more.
where's
There's a
that
lot more
meme?
truth coming out.
Which mean?
Yeah.
The
There's
one.
one.
Yeah.
There's just one, Wendy.
Well,
Just
the
one?
yeah. The one about I got to be careful about what I say.
Oh,
You probably already know what I'm talking about. That, you know, depending upon during 20,
that time.
The staged picture.
not the stage picture.
Staged picture.
Staged picture. How every single hospital that was overflown in France and Europe and Italy and New York all was the exact same picture with the exact same dude.
No,
Oh.
it was relating to the deaths that, you know,
Oh, yeah.
if you tested positive, you counted as,
Right,
you know,
right.
You did.
but nobody's recognizing that.
Maybe
Well, that's
If
what
you
they're saying.
have a
That's what
certain,
they're saying now.
Yeah,
There,
yeah,
that is what happened.
there's so
That's
much
crazy.
information coming out right now.
Oh, I
So much
know.
information that had this come out 2 years ago, we'd be talking totally different topics at this point in time.
Oh,
We'd be living
absolutely.
a
I mean,
totally
we-
different life.
I mean, so not even on the news. Did you see that? So there. Remember when the Russian disinformation came out about the laptop,
Yep.
and the
Mhm.
51 intelligence experts signed a letter,
Yep.
and one guy's already come out and said, "No, that was bullshit."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
he
see-
goes, and everybody else that signed it also, we all kind of looked at each other and said, "Yeah, there's probably a good chance this is true."
So
Well, we're
you
signing this anyhow.
so you got to wonder, okay, like in that particular instance, what causes them to say, yeah, this is a good thing?
It's all
Let's-
timing. It's all timing.
Let's
Because
fight
If
it.
I was fast on my phone, I'd start playing Pink Floyd Money.
Mhm.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah.
But the thing is now we're off that subject. We're now on the bigger and better things. So now when you bring up when the truth comes out about something that happened before,
Oh yeah,
Nobody
people
nobody
are like,
cares.
yeah,
Nobody gives a
whatever.
shit. It's
Well,
done. It's over with.
Yeah.
Because again, this comes back to the same thing I've said. I am deathly afraid that I am correct in the feeling that there are certain other countries paying people. I got to be careful in how I state this.
Mhm.
Certain other countries paying certain people
Contributing,
contributing to be able to make,
donating.
well, just so that they get a certain
Kickbacks?
outcome. Because again,
Right.
we had the conversation before about
You sway.
you
it
don't
just
need
a
to
little
you don't
bit.
need to pay everybody.
Mhm.
You just got to pay
The
the right
right
One
people.
dude.
Right.
Right.
And all of a sudden you get policy changes,
Mhm.
whether it's at a school board level or whether it's at a state or a federal level.
Yeah.
And you pay off enough judges and you pay off enough.
So what's the end
Lawmakers.
game? I mean, if that's the case, what is the end game?
Well,
Is it the-
if you go
I
back
think
and
it
you
changes.
if you
The
go
one
back-
world order?
well,
I think it
it
changes.
depends on
I
which
think it
end game you're
changes on
talking
how they're
about. There's
going.
two end games. The World Economic Forum is under a false narrative that they think that they're going to be in charge.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But they're mostly financed or largely financed by the CCP.
Oh.
We have
Suck it up.
we have salty caramel whiskey on the table.
It's a party
here.
foul.
They call that
Salty
al-
caramel
that is
down.
a
Salty
huge party.
caramel down.
they call that alcohol abuse.
I know, and especially
But
for the vessel,
but the
we can't even
WEF
drink
gets
it.
a lot of money from China.
China.
And China has stated since, so the CCP, just to be fair, I'm not talking about the Chinese people. I'm talking about the CCP,
What's a CCP?
Chinese Communist Party.
Chinese
Oh.
Communist Party,
That dude.
has stated since
That dude.
since 1948.
Why is it all I think of the Gangnam Style?
Wrong country.
That's all I thought of in my head.
Oh my god.
That's Korea.
That's funny.
So, but the CCP has stated since 1948 that their biggest adversary is the United States. Since 1948, they said that their biggest adversary that's going to stop them from becoming the leader of the world is the
US.
United States.
Yep. And they're taking us down slowly.
And so they're doing it and they said it's 100 years.
Yeah.
So by 2048, 2049,
That's not that far.
they want to be in charge. They want to be
That's
they want to replace
26
they want to replace
years?
the dollar.
25 years.
They want to replace the dollar,
It's already doing.
That's already gone.
and they want to be the influence on the world on what happens.
Pretty much already are.
Let's hope not. They're
It's not-
trying.
it's
They're
not-
trying. They're not there yet.
They're not
26
there.
It's not,
years.
it's not at the point where, I mean, luckily we're seeing it, and they've got their own
well,
problems.
who cares if we see it?
They
Doesn't
have,
matter.
They have
We're
their
not in
own
charge.
problems. Their economy is very fragile, and their economy is about a third of ours, if I remember correctly. So, I mean, they're in a situation where they've got a lot of things that could really go against them. They actually receded. That was another news story from this week. They receded in population for the first time in like 40 years.
Wow.
So everybody's got the Rona.
Which is, well, that may have something to do
It could
with
have
it.
something to
No,
do with
well, I thought it was one child or whatever.
No, they bumped
The
it
one
back
child
up to
thing,
two.
the
They
one
bumped it
child,
back
That's
up to
recent.
two
That's
within
recent.
the last like 5 years because they realized that they didn't
took
have
it.
anybody take
It's
care
all
of them.
no. It's hands off now.
Totally let them go.
Whatever you want to
Nice.
do,
Really?
you can have a dozen kids. But the thing is, again, it's communism.
Yeah.
So everybody gets
So much.
X amount.
Yeah, you got an allowance,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody's going, I can't afford more than one kid.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so the vast majority, and these people have been conditioned for generations: one kid, one kid, one kid.
Yeah.
And so that's all they're saying. No, one kid. Now, at least not there. We can hope, knock on wood, they can only hope that they're not killing the girls.
Yeah.
Right.
Like they used
I mean,
to.
talk about barbaric, right?
Well,
Right.
But the fact is-
we adopt the girls over here.
But
Yeah.
or they put them up
They-
for adoption. I mean, if
Yeah,
if
they
they're
go in
lucky, if they're lucky.
orphanages.
But I mean, there are horror stories about them actually
Mhm.
killing the girls.
Yeah.
Girls finding up, ending up in dumpsters and crap like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are the flip side though is they finally realized, way too late that their population was getting older.
And they're
And
you're
now
taking
all of a sudden
two
they don't have
parents
enough. They don't
to
have
make
enough people,
one kid. You just cut your population in half.
and they
Right.
don't have enough people to support the people that
Exactly.
are going to be
That's when they
reliant
changed
on
it.
the healthcare
Oh.
system.
Then you throw
yeah.
a pandemic in the mix, and that really
Well,
screws things up,
yeah.
doesn't it?
Then you're really
Oh,
screwed.
crap.
Whoops. Oopsie.
So
Poor planning.
That'll do it.
should we talk about $5 million?
Sure.
No,
What's $5 million?
that'll make me angry.
Are you
Wendy saw this the
serious?
other day, and she saw it when I was writing it, and she's like, "Really? San Francisco's offering? They're not quite there, but they're batting around the idea of a one-time $5 million slave reparation payment."
For who?
To go to who?
For people that have not been
For each
slaves
person?
and people
And
paying
California was
that have
never-
not been
and-
owners.
But
to
for
be fair,
individual persons
California
or
was
for like
One
the city?
person, every single person.
So every
Yeah.
single person?
Now,
I was a
Hold
slave
on,
in
hold on,
another
before you-
country. Does that count?
before
No.
you go there,
Ugh.
you have to have proven that you lived in California from
Oh.
1900 to 1996. I
No,
think
my
it
family wasn't that stupid to live there.
And all these different things. I mean, they do have some barriers to prevent,
Fraud?
Hey,
It's
let's not, when we are moving to San
What's
Francisco
fraud?
tomorrow,
Stay for
and
a
we're,
year.
and we're gonna grab $5 million.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, if San Francisco wants to pay their $5 million out of their taxpayer monies, bro, go for it.
Right?
Makes
I
you
mean,
feel
fine,
better.
granted, $5
Yeah,
million
we don't live there.
You know
right?
how
Go
far
for
$5
it.
million would go in San Francisco? Not far.
Not that far.
And especially
Not
for the
as
people
far as
who
you
are
would
going to
think.
try to do this, they're already homeless on the side of the road anyway.
I was going to say there are going to be so many scammers out there.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
and hackers who are going to come up with this. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
out of the San Francisco tax money, go for it,
Yeah.
boo boo.
Being the guy that's been on
Go for it.
a budgetary committee for a municipality, and I sit there and I look at it and I go,
It's not even a feasible number.
even if you have 1,000 people,
Hmm.
where are you coming up with the $5 trillion?
Right. Exactly.
That's just 1,000 people, and you know darn well
1,000
there's going to be
people.
more
Where are you coming up
scammers
with
than
the-
that.
San Francisco doesn't have $5 trillion.
Mm-mm.
No.
sitting extra in the
You
bank.
have 5 million, not trillion.
Somebody
1,000
Google
people.
California's
No, each
population in
person,
1900.
Wendy, each person
What?
gets $5
1,000
million.
people. If 1,000 people, correct me if my math is wrong. I've
Oh,
been
this
drinking.
is each person gets
Each
a
Right.
person,
If they
$5
can
million?
prove- if they can prove,
each person gets $5 million. So if
you-
Keith
no,
goes there,
they got to show that they were from a slave.
that is not that hard to forge,
But
honey.
even if you can come up with 1,000 people, you're telling me the San Francisco
Mhm.
budget, the San Francisco's controller's office has an extra five. Even if you come up with 1,000 people, you're telling me that there's $5 trillion.
No, of
No,
course
they'll
They're
ask the
cash
federal
later.
government
Yeah.
They'll
for
raise
help
taxes.
because
Biden
guess
just saved
what?
us $1 trillion. Didn't you see the math?
Right.
Oh my
They'll
god!
ask the federal government, hey,
a
you know
loan.
what? We need to bail out because we're,
Somebody Google what the California population was in 1900.
right.
So did you see that being on time is now racist?
San Francisco, not California.
Yeah, just San Francisco.
Oh,
Just
ju-
San
I thought it was
Francisco.
This is not
California.
this is not the state. The state is broke.
Right. Well, of course.
But you're telling me that San Francisco is flush with cash? I
San
doubt
Francisco.
that. No.
What am I
San
looking
Francisco has people shitting on the
that. San
sidewalk. They
Francisco
don't have any extra
population
money.
1900 or 1920, 1940. I don't care.
at? But this
Okay.
is the thing. They're not going to be in the 1900. They're not going to be considered in the population if you're a slave.
When did the
You weren't a
census start?
person.
When did the census start?
Good
It's been in
question.
the Constitution since the beginning of time.
We've
Since
been
the
we've been
beginning of the
keeping a
country.
census since the beginning.
San
Since the beginning of the
Francisco in
since the beginning of the
1900.
Constitution, because it requires to have a census taken, so that way you can figure out how to fill the House of
True. Good point.
so the House
In
has to-
1900, San Francisco was home to 342,782 people.
That's a lot more than I
But
thought.
the funny thing is,
That's a lot more.
and so it's.
But again,
But here's
These
the
are
other
not
part. Now, I
your
just thought of this.
slaves.
This is just virtue signaling.
I was going to say, is it just to calm
Yeah,
somebody
because
down?
guess what?
It's
California
really
was
not
not
going to
a
happen.
slave state.
no,
Right.
they didn't
No.
There
have
was
any.
nobody that was a slave
Right.
in California.
No, it was a city. It was a booming industrial city.
Yeah. So this is just BS. This is just virtue.
You want to go to the
signaling.
backwoods of like
So just
Minnesota
sitting
or
here-
something.
But speaking of California,
No,
you see that
the
USC,
South. The South is where
The
all your
South.
slaves were.
USC
Well, you
wants
had all
to
the
drop
farms
the
and everything.
word field
Why?
from their lexicon.
USC. What's USC?
What?
University of Southern California.
Oh, okay. Why do you say it like I'm supposed to know? Wants to drop the word field.
Three of
Like
us do.
field. Like field is in like what they play on?
Yeah.
Fuck you gonna play on?
What?
Grass.
Grass. Athletic
The grass.
area.
Really?
Why is field wrong? Is it racist?
Yep.
Do
It
you-
says it is right there.
Well, being on time
Oh,
racist
definitely.
too.
Oh shit.
We didn't
being
talk
on
about
time
that.
racist?
Being on time is racist.
So I could tell my boss now I don't want to be on time because I'm not racist.
Yep. And this is on a college campus. You got to imagine how many kids are just going, well, I'm not going to show up on time anymore because it's racist.
Right.
Yeah. Now your classes aren't being done.
We
Now
don't-
your professors are standing there.
California, man, you know.
Kendra.
Hey, Kendra.
I miss
Well,
you.
actually, the being on time is not racist. That's actually Clemson,
Oh God.
South Carolina.
What the world?
And I like Clemson. Clemson is actually.
I,
Just,
I just don't understand the last one where they want to drop the field for.
Right. It doesn't make any sense.
because it implies cotton fields and.
Oh, come on.
What?
How far are we
That is a
stretching,
stretch.
bro?
Oh, I'm serious.
Then I don't
That-
want you to wear a cotton shirt
Because
because,
I
that
swear-
implies that you did
Because
racism.
I'll bet you money.
That is a stretch.
I will
Wow.
bet you money there is professors out there with, agendas
I'm sure.
that are giving extra credit to students that can come up with new
Racist things.
Trigger
new
words?
ways. Yeah, new ways to be upset about something.
What about strawberry
Arthur-
fields forever?
there was a point in time I was
Oh, my
really
God.
upset that I didn't get to go to ASU. I'm kind of glad I didn't now.
Right?
Field of Dreams is going to be seriously racist, right?
Right?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, James Earl
Yeah.
Jones is going to be upset about
Right.
that.
Ah,
That's not good.
What a joke. I mean, who doesn't?
God, I haven't
who
seen
does
that
not
movie.
look at us and go, God, the United States
Wow,
is a
y'all are
fucking joke.
stupid.
right?
Ding. Sorry. But
Ding.
seriously, it's
Well,
like,
ding ding.
it's unbelievable.
Crazy.
Can't read that.
Anyway, okay, on
says-
to a better topic, I
Political
guess.
cartoons.
I
On to
said,
political cartoons.
I said President Biden in the garage with the classified documents under Clueless.
I like that. That's awesome.
with the
Yes,
mustard.
I plan to run in 2024, 7 days from Sunday. Deep state, not happening.
Yeah, not happening.
And the funny thing is, I like the fact that they put down here Michelle 2024. That's the one thing that we don't know.
Michelle
She's an unknown. Yes.
Obama. Mm.
Oh God,
That's an
Why-
interesting
We need
one.
a black female in there. Just get her on in there.
And then document gay.
Oh no, wait,
Oh,
it's
shit.
not really a female.
That's funny.
Was that
All right,
his
question of the
walker?
week, and I need audience participation.
Uh-oh. Is it an A, B, or C? Should
no,
we get these out?
no, it's not.
No.
Oh,
No, it's a verbal answer.
okay.
Christine says, "Ding ding."
Who would be your choice for president and VP for 2024? And I'm going to say right now, just literally for Wendy's benefit, anybody but blank is not an answer.
Which is what Keith is wearing on his hat.
Well, if you want to say that, that's fine. But who would you pick? Because I have
DeSantis.
something way out in left field. But this was an
DeSantis.
interesting.
Oh,
But see, and it's not
Sheriff
even,
Lamb.
and it's not even Ron DeSantis. But who would
Sheriff
you
Lamb.
pick for? And I want to hear from the audience too. Who would you pick for president and VP in 2024? Who would you, if you had the power to say, I'm going to put you in office and you second in office?
Sheriff Lamb and me.
Who would you want to see?
I think DeSantis is president and Trump is VP.
Never.
I know.
And plus, you're violating the Constitution
I was going
Why?
to say Trump would never be VP.
Why?
because you cannot have the president and the VP from the same state.
Same state.
Oh, really?
Oh, I didn't know Trump was from Florida.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not really
He's from
Florida.
New York.
He's been living in Florida for
It's
the last.
technically where
that's
his-
Yeah, but-
that's now his official residence.
So that's
Oh,
what
is it? He's not a New
He
Yorker
is not a New
anymore?
Yorker anymore.
Oh, DeSantis and Tulsi Gabbard. I didn't think about that. That'd be a good matchup.
No.
Why?
Gabbard is a Democrat. I don't care what anybody says.
So is your girl, but you
Careful,
don't think
careful. I knew we
And
were
I would
going
not
there.
pick Carrie Lake either.
I knew we were going there.
that. You know me
So
too
who
well.
would you pick? Let's go around the horn. Who would
Truly,
you pick?
DeSantis and Lamb.
Really?
100% all day long.
Okay.
I would do DeSantis. I just don't know. I just don't know who I'd pick for VP. Honestly, I don't know.
DeSantis and blank?
I can't say blank.
You're not saying you so there's nobody else that you could match up that is your second or third favorite politician based on whatever they do, whether it's pick somebody, right? A Jim Jordan out of Ohio, or
I like Jim Jordan. I like Jim Jordan, but I like Marco Rubio too. I mean,
Rubio, but see, you can't do that because
I know,
he's Florida.
I know.
So then what about and I'm drawing a blank. Damn it.
We could do Jim Jordan. I like Jim Jordan.
No, you can't just pick something like through.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't. I mean,
It's hard to know.
She picked Mark Lamb.
I like Ted Cruz. I mean,
Okay, there you
All
go.
right, that'll work.
Okay.
he's a good old Texan.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go DeSantis.
Will
and
says
Cruz.
Sheriff Joe. You want to know I did have everybody in freaking pink panties by the end of the night.
I am sorry. I like Joe.
I
He's a
love
good
Joe.
He's a good old boy.
Our state was
Joe
better with
is-
Oh, there you go.
Joe
Kendra
is-
says Keith and Lindsay.
Joe-
Watch out.
Joe needs to just get a fishing pole and enjoy life.
Right?
I know.
But our state was different when he was running it. You have to
I
admit that.
get it, but Joe
You have
needs
We'd
to,
have that
Joe
wall up
needs
in
to-
a second.
Joe just needs to grab the fishing pole
I know,
and
I get
enjoy
it.
life.
so does somebody else needs to grab an ice cream cone and enjoy
I
life.
get
But
it.
you
I
know,
get it. Wendy?
I would go with DeSantis and Candace Owen.
Oh, nice. Didn't even think about Candace. Good choice.
Hell
I would
yeah.
like to see her.
she'd be freaking good.
Yeah, I would like to see her in politics more.
She'd be good.
Instead of
she
just-
stepped back a lot
Well, because
when she had the baby.
yes.
But
Well,
she
she's
said
got
she
two
has
now.
no desire because somebody asked her, would she ever run for president?
Yeah.
She said, no, I have no.
No.
desire."
Oh, she's changed her mind.
Oh, has she?
Oh, has she?
She said she's changed her mind.
Oh, okay.
So she's got the two little ones
There are
now.
things that I've read that says
Because she'd be good as VP.
she allegedly has had the talk with her husband and she has changed her mind. Now it says politics doesn't
That
mean
doesn't mean president.
doesn't mean,
yeah.
she could be a state rep or something like
Yeah.
that. So
Okay.
And I would support her doing that because I think she
She'd be
has
good.
a great point of view on things.
She does.
She does.
And she backs up her shit.
Yes, she does.
always has proof. She
Big time.
never
Yes, she
just
does.
wings
Yeah.
it.
So who's your choice?
this is coming out of left field. Oh, why is this going?
That's weird.
Because you broke it.
So
Because we've been hacked. We just got kicked out
no,
of YouTube.
it came up with a something for Team Viewer on my screen that said,
Wow.
"Do you want to update right now?" And I was like, "No, not yet." Oh, see, it's doing it again. No, I don't want. I don't.
Go away.
Yeah, I don't want to do anything for Team Viewer.
See, it's YouTube hacking us.
So, and this is what made me think about this today. This question, and I'm going to start doing this one every week. Was Kristi Noem said that she was not convinced that she was ready to run. So who knows who Kristi Noem is?
I've heard the
No
name.
clue.
but I don't know anything
Wyoming,
about her. but-
She is the
Governor, right?
governor of Wyoming. Love her. She is outstanding. She is DeSantis
on
plus
steroids early.
on steroids.
Hmm.
So everything you love about DeSantis, she is even better. But
Okay.
she doesn't get out there and get all the press.
She's not in front of the TV.
because she's dealing in a state that is a third of the size of,
Yeah.
of Florida.
Well, and they're not dealing with the border stuff or
See, right there, Dan, exactly. Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem would be my president pick, and Rick Scott would be my VP.
I don't know who that is.
Rick Scott is he's a Republican MAGA representative.
From
out
where?
of out of Florida, if I
Mm.
remember correctly.
Hmm.
So what did the audience pick
Yeah, what's the audience?
besides
'Cause
Keith and Lindsay?
We just had DeSantis and
Sheriff Joe, DeSantis, and Tulsi Gabbard.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Okay.
Will said him.
Gabrielle, you didn't even come close to that.
Will, love you to death. I would not make you president.
Oh my God, he'd get us murdered. I would have him like the beginning of the
because
Secret
you
Service
would
guy.
put your finger on that button and it'd never come off.
Yep.
Trey Gowdy.
Trey Gowdy. Now that's like an interesting pick. And Trey Gowdy, I give him a ton of credit. He is a great prosecutor, and he was a really good.
Why do you say was?
He's no longer in. He
Oh.
gave it up. He did 3 terms.
I
if
thought he
remember,
was dead.
and then done. No, he said no. He did 3 terms and he was done.
Okay.
Oh, South Dakota. Noem is from South Dakota. Yes.
Okay.
No, I think you're absolutely right about that, Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Trump.
Kristen.
Can you imagine that? Trump and Trey.
Oh my God. They would never get along.
Can you know all the jokes that'll float around about that one, man? With all the names
Double
together,
T's,
forget
the
it. Yeah,
tatas.
TNT.
yeah, TNT.
Yeah. TNT.
Oh man.
All right.
TNT, boom. There you go. There's your
Quote of the week,
advertisement.
since MLK's birthday was this week. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do,
Keep moving forward.
keep
Absolutely.
moving forward.
I like that.
Absolutely.
100%.
All right. We're running behind. From the silly file. Sorry, we have 2 silly files.
Uh-oh.
Climate activist, so Greta Thunberg.
Oh,
God.
Did you see that she got arrested?
No.
No.
No, get out.
So she was protesting.
How old is
it-
she? Like 12 now?
No, she's like 17.
Okay.
So she was protesting at a coal mine. But you want to know the best part about this and why I made the
Oh,
silly
jeez.
file?
They whooped her butt.
It was all staged for the cameras.
What?
Of course she did.
Interesting.
Yep. She was, she actually did 2 takes of getting arrested
Jesus.
with the German police.
Of course she did.
You know what? Sometimes I just, not that I respected her, but you just even lose more respect for people.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Silly file
Well, that's
times
no
2.
different than what?
You're gonna love
Biden
this
coming
story.
down here and us cleaning everything up for him before he shows up.
So a woman sues bar after getting so drunk she blew up a $10 million home.
What?
What?
She was so
Oh,
I love this line out of the New York Times. She was so bombed she blew up a house.
Oh,
I gotta say,
Oh.
I love that tagline.
That's a great time.
wow.
Oh my God. So a Canadian woman, I got to read this real quick. Canadian woman who caused $10 million in damages, drunk driving, crashed into a house and caused an explosion, is now suing the concert venue that provided her booze. The car bomb fiasco happened in 2019. So Daniela Luis, 26, driving home from a Marilyn Manson concert at the Budweiser Gardens in Ontario after drinking at the show and getting behind the wheel of her Ford Fusion, registered to her father, not that it makes a difference.
So she lives
Ran
in the
into a
basement.
brick home and ruptured a gas line, triggered a massive explosion that ended up destroying 4 houses.
Wow.
Okay, can I just
The
say
best part, hold on.
Okay.
She and her father, so now she ended up spending 3 years in jail. So they filed a lawsuit because they're blaming the
Place.
Of
the
course.
place shares liability because they ejected her while failing to take steps to ensure she would not drive home. Really? Really?
So they kicked her out and stopped serving her.
Right?
No
But
one,
they're now at fault because they didn't make sure she got home safely.
no one can take responsibility
Can I
for
just
their
say-
own actions.
Can I just say that you went to a Marilyn Manson concert at the Budweiser Gardens?
Right? What could
Okay.
possibly go wrong?
Right. This weekend is Will's birthday, so
Happy
everybody wish
birthday,
Will
Happy
happy
birthday, Will!
Hey, Will, we got a special birthday song for you at the end, so stick around for that.
All right.
It's not my special birthday song.
Are we doing quiz of the week?
It's not my special
What
birthday
time
song.
is
Yeah.
You better hurry up.
I got 4 minutes.
Oh shit. Okay.
Quiz of the week.
Chop, chop.
Miscellaneous trivia, just for fun. This is just for fun.
Okay.
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 None of these questions are related to any of them. I just
Anything.
picked 10 random
Okay.
questions. It is illegal to eat with a fork in Georgia.
What is
What?
illegal?
What is illegal to eat with a fork in
You're
Georgia?
upsetting my dog.
Shrimp,
100%
apple,
shrimp.
eggs, or fried chicken?
100% shrimp.
In Georgia?
Ooh, I might go with the fried chicken. I'm sticking with shrimp.
Oh, I was
No.
not ready to have my.
Do, 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 do,
Right?
do, 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 do,
I'm going with
do,
shrimp.
do, 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 do.
Everybody in the audience is going D, so that's probably right.
I got a D, an A, and a D. It is D.
All right.
All right. Number 2. Iceland diverted roads to avoid disturbing communities of what? Elves, bats, reindeer, or mushroom?
Iceland?
Iceland.
I'm going mushroom just because it's so off the wall.
Could be elves.
I got a B and
Yeah,
a
it could
D.
be.
Wendy says B.
Oh, Iceland. No, I'm going reindeer.
Why? Is that what Christine picked?
No, I don't know. No, she picked. I don't know yet. She didn't put anything yet.
We got
Yeah,
a
she's
C.
got
We got a C from Arthur.
Happy birthday, Will.
Happy birthday, Will.
A C from Christine for 2. A C from Will.
I love the fact
Okay.
that actually I got Christine on this one.
Ooh.
Iceland diverted roads to avoid
Elves?
disturbing elves.
What?
Elves
You said
aren't
that the
real.
first time. That's funny.
Number 3. What is measured in Mickeys? Computer mouse, beers, rodent traps, or reindeer? The look on Wendy's face. Really? I could just throw a dart. Whatever
Very
lands on.
much.
What is measured in Mickeys? I got 2 B's and a blank, including the look.
We just like
Three
beer.
B. Are we
I'll
going
go
with a B?
We just like beer.
Computer mice.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Number 4. What is Marilyn Monroe's natural hair color? Red, brunette, brown, or naturally blonde?
She wasn't. I want to say she was a brunette.
What was
Brunette and
Marilyn
brown
Monroe's
are the
natural
same,
hair
you know
color?
that, right?
Red, brunette, brown, or naturally blonde? I got a B, a
Brunette
B, a
and
B.
brown are the same thing.
Yeah, I was just going to say, isn't brunette and brown the same?
Yes.
Doesn't matter because her hair was
Red.
red.
Oh, no kidding.
Then why didn't you pick A? Are you just going to be? Are you grumpy?
My shoulder hurts.
You keep it up. She's going to be.
We're on question 5 already. Who claimed he could drive away the devil with a fart?
John.
Paul the Third, she meant.
Wow.
Actually, that would be Keith's nephew
Wow.
Jake.
I am holding it all in for the ride home now.
I'm so sorry.
Martin Luther, Joe Biden, Pope John Paul IV, or Vladimir Putin?
We're gonna go with Putin because he be Putin.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna go with the Pope.
Oh, that'd be funny.
I'm going with the Pope on this.
I kind of like the Pope answer.
Martin Luther.
Really? Wow.
Okay.
I wouldn't picture him saying
No
something.
idea.
Like
It wasn't Martin
Actually,
Luther
drive
King.
away the devil with the
That
fart.
was
I
not
bet you
Martin
could.
Luther King
Oh, it wasn't?
Jr.
No.
No.
That was the first one.
In St. Louis, Missouri, it's illegal for a firefighter to rescue who? Fish, undressed women, deceased occupants, or cats?
I would say fish. Right?
It's just a
Okay.
weird thing to put up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this question.
Deceased occupants would be good too.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with
In St. Louis, it's illegal for a firefighter to rescue who? I have
Probably
an
undressed.
A and a C,
Not cats, because that's just not right.
Right.
but couldn't cats get out on their own?
No, not necessarily if they're up high.
Not if they're hiding under a
I'm
bed.
guessing cat's the answer.
They don't have to be cats.
Undressed women, it
Okay.
includes if they are even in a nightgown.
What?
Really?
Really?
So somebody
got felt up
so
once.
if a fire,
Ma'am, you need to go get dressed before I can take
I
you.
can rescue you.
Right?
Your
What
house
if
is
you were doing the nasty
Your
and
house
your
is-
house is
I
on
love
fire?
this
Fire.
question.
Around,
I
dude.
love this question too. What was the name of Hugh Hefner's jet?
Which one?
His jet.
He had tons of them.
What was the name
Gotta
of
be-
Air Force One, Big Bunny, Jackrabbit, or Mile High?
It's either B or C.
What was the name of Hugh Hefner's jet? Air Force One, Big Bunny, Jackrabbit, or Mile High? I have a C, a B, and a D.
It's the Playboy bunny. It's gotta be a bunny. It's gotta be something in relation to a rabbit.
Not necessarily.
True.
Hair Force.
But that's what I'm going with.
What do you
That
mean?
could be your hair.
Three of them have to do with a rabbit.
You spell hair wrong for a rabbit, but that's okay.
Yeah, true.
Big Bunny.
Good job.
So Keith is right.
Good guess.
Damn it, I did spell that wrong.
Yes, you did.
I thought that was so funny though.
That's why I was like hair.
I thought
like
that
on
was
your
so
head?
funny. Air Force One.
That'd be fun. That would be
Wow.
funny. Name.
What is a bunch of unicorns called?
Oh Jesus.
Oh, jeez.
A herd, a blessing, a group, or a
It's
gag?
gotta be a gaggle.
Why
I
are
got
you
two
keeping
quick
mine?
D's. Two D's.
All right, you want
right off
me to
the
pick
bat.
a herd? I'll pick something different.
Stop copying me.
I'll pick something different just because Lindsay's accused me of copying.
Pick something what you want. Pick what you feel. Well, then put the D up there.
Put your D up there.
I grabbed it first, by the way.
Can we get that? Can we isolate her saying that next week?
Right?
Put your D up there.
Watch it be A.
A blessing.
Awesome.
Number 9.
Wow. And you said I was grumpy at the beginning of the night.
my
I'm not-
God.
According to Russian law, where must the homeless be after 10 p.m.? A shelter, nearest police station, a gym, or home?
I just find this one ironic.
I was gonna think that too.
According to Russian law, where must the homeless be after?
I don't
10
care where
p.m.?
you gotta be, but or where
Gotta be
you are,
home.
You gotta be home. Wherever that may
Are
be.
we just gonna grab this?
Just grab it.
Home.
Too obvious.
That kind of
Yeah.
explains where the Russian law is, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Number 10.
Yeah.
10 of 10. What was Walt Disney afraid of?
Oh,
Mice, cats, dogs, or witches?
I knew that answer.
Wow, you know this one? Okay.
You could be wrong.
Could be wrong.
Mm,
Lindsay, what do you think? Was he afraid of mice, dogs, cats, or witches?
Ooh. Arthur says witches. Oh, no. Arthur said dog. Sorry. I thought he said. Will says witches.
Because you notice Goofy is not a regular dog.
Right.
And there's,
And there's not many dogs.
and there's a lot of witches.
And
As
a
the-
lot of
as
mice.
the
Is there a
And
lot
a
of
lot of
witches?
cats.
There's a lot of witches that's the protagonist in all his stories.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And there's a lot of mice.
And not any cats. Name a cat in Walt Disney.
The Aristocats.
Is that
is that Disney though?
Yeah,
or
that's
is it-
Disney.
What's
I
the
guess that
answer?
is true. Do you really care?
No.
Not really.
Do you really want to know the answer?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you're getting pushy now. Show the answer. Show the answer, damn
What
it!
the freaking
Show
answer?
me.
Mice.
Isn't
He
that
uses
how?
mice all the time.
Yeah, but that's how Mickey came about because I think because Mickey was the icon for Disney, right?
Yeah.
So I
Yes.
think that's how that came about. Is he was afraid of mice, and that the story. I thought I
made
heard
him
that.
not scared.
That's how it made him not scared, right?
Oh, really?
That's what I thought I heard. That's why I picked mice so fast.
And that would be interesting. I mean, that would make
That'd be a good
sense.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, you're really just going through it.
What? That's
Yeah.
it. I mean, it was the status. We keep track of the status. If you want to look at the status, you can always
Okay, time
go
to
back
go.
through and and look for a CTC short and skeletons in the closet. That's it.
Right? Good show. Oh, hey, real quick before
you
we go,
had
I
two
did,
new-
I did want to bring those up. What?
You had
new
two
what?
other things.
I know. So we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but they finally did an article on it. The Roomba recorded a woman on the toilet. So I thought that was kind of funny when I saw that.
How did screenshots end up on Facebook?
Right. And then I found this interesting, and we can talk about it next week if you want, but helicopter circling Phoenix scanning for an unusual radioactivity ahead of the Super Bowl. Is that something that's common?
Yep.
It is? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Maybe we can talk about that next week
Yep.
a little bit.
Did you
God,
know
I hate
that?
the Super
Because I
Bowl.
mean, did you know? You knew. Even
You
at
what?
Did you know? You knew?
even
I
at
know.
even at ASU that when they had national games, nationally televised games, Homeland Security had cameras up on the roof.
No, I didn't know that.
You're serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Homeland Security had its own command center within the stadium,
Really?
and they had their own set of cameras.
Well, that makes
I mean,
sense.
they literally would take pan, tilt, zoom cameras and put them on tripods
On the roof.
that are separate from
Anybody
the
else's
system.
system, yeah.
and ASU. I mean, what Keith and I can talk to the fact that ASU's got a pretty decent system
Mhm.
as far as the camera system within the stadium. And so, yeah, they have their own separate camera system they bring with them.
Well, that makes
That I
sense
didn't
because
know
you have
that.
how many people showing up?
Right.
But the point
Like
is that
hitting
they are
the Super Bowl would be huge.
Mhm.
No, but
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
ASU is a prime exception. This is a college stadium, and I don't want to get too far.
Yeah,
off.
but college people get
But a
crazy
college
just as much as
stadium, and
NFL
they have-
does.
They have super high definition cameras
Right.
that look across the stadium at the opposite
Thought
side.
you were going to say field. You're not allowed to say that.
No, across the stadium and look at the opposite side, and they
Scan for
get
people.
big sections of, and so they had to be certain
Yep.
chunks, I guess if you want to call it that, of the fan base for them to be able to identify what was going on.
Right.
And so,
Do they scan for terrorists?
Anything shady.
I used to laugh at the old television show called Vegas.
Never saw it.
Never saw it?
Oh,
Mhm.
really? With Dan Tana?
No, not that show. The other one with what's his name that married
Josh Jamal.
Josh Jamal.
Okay, that one.
And
Okay.
so that one, and they used to have all this fancy facial recognition, blah, blah, blah. And I used to say that is such bullshit.
Right.
And now it's actually become reality.
Mhm.
And so facial recognition has gotten to a point where the AI involved with it is really
good.
incredible. And the point is now they can take some of these things and they can put these high definition cameras on a crowd, and the system will literally do facial recognition on everybody,
Mhm.
and it will match that against the database. It's sci-fi, as sci-fi as you can think it would be.
Wow.
And it will literally match that against the database and be able to say, this person is somebody you need
Off
to
of
watch
tickets,
about. This
yeah.
person
Yep.
is somebody you should.
Yep.
I mean, because it's the same thing, right? They now, I mean, you've seen or heard about it, the fact that they can take cameras and put it on a van or a car or whatever
Mhm.
and drive through a downtown. Chicago does it.
And knows where everybody is.
And they can be able to tell, this car needs to be impounded because it's too many tickets. That car
Yeah.
needs to be impounded because of too many tickets. And they've been able to do this in Chicago for probably close to 5-6 years.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
And so, I mean, the intelligence of what security cameras and things of that nature can do, it's crazy.
It's gotten crazy.
But yeah, I mean, this is just kind of the world we live in now.
So much fun.
All right, we'll talk about it next week.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna send you off with a very happy birthday for Will.
Happy birthday, Will!
Happy
Happy birthday, Will.
Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you guys next Wednesday.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alan.
Let's talk about our country, the red, white, and the blue. Let's stand up for glory, us patriots are true. We love America, the land of the free. We love America, our country God made.
Can't stop us, we're coming.